Another important question, probably the most important one, is the question of orders. And I think you have a lot to say about it, because you're absent from the office for the first half of the day. Can you tell me why? Because I don't know whether we can name all those companies and so on. Well, yes, I can tell you the overall environment, the overall context. It should be intuitively clear to everyone. Many companies have announced over the years that they will build airships. They have been building them. Ogor in Russia has been building them. Many have announced their grandiose plans. There were many who made announcements. Economic models were created. And not even airship builders, but technicians and economists understand all the advantages of airships and their application business. And the market is very well warmed up, I would say. So even today, I met with a logistics company. It is their sixth year. They have been developing transportation flows, economics, and so on based on their communication with airship specialists. And they are very much looking forward to airships of various sizes, starting with 20 tons, maybe even less. And we are now starting active cooperation with them. They give us all their, well, commodity flows, trajectories, economics, and so on and so forth. It's just, we have already started requesting this information not only from them but from a lot of people who just scroll the market, so to speak, looking at the needs. I mean, we need this, we need that, we need something else. In the meantime, we need to form a sustainable design office. And then, well, we're moving small steps. We'll form a team. So we're still looking at where those more serious devices and vehicles be aimed at in the future. Maybe something will be corrected or adjusted, but it's unlikely because, after all, the primary analysis were quite detailed. So yes, we talked today. They said, give us an airship. I say, wait. How long to wait? We cannot wait, they say. There is no time. I say, well, guys, the terms of the project are reasonable. And let's start working together. Before you know it, you'll have airships. The guys, well, I call them the guys, but actually it's a big company, a huge company. I won't say their name for the time being. What do you call their departments there that work legally? Well, it just disappeared from my head. Well, then I should not say it, I guess. Okay, the main thing is what? The main thing is that the project has barely started. And we're not sitting still. We're not waiting for the first airship to appear in our possession and I will start showing it to someone and trying to sell it. First of all, we are already negotiating with customers. Yes, of course, these are the first negotiations to understand what is needed, to get some technical specifications, to get a request, to agree on something. But I think it clearly indicates that the first orders, and I hope and expect that the company will receive the first money much faster than the financing itself will be finalized. It's a fact, yes, and this fact is supported by very lively interest. First of all, I've really experienced that the airship it sells itself. It's like everyone has been working with hand tools, carpenters, for example, and then some power tool comes along, and it's wow, everyone wants it. Even for a small 130 cubic meter one, there is already interest towards it for advertising purposes, and in order to conduct aerial photography and monitoring, there are already interested parties from a commercial viewpoint. And there is already a request for a 2,000 cubic meter tourist version of several vehicles, and for 8,000 cubic meter one, and for 32,000 cubic meter. This company also has and shows a very lively interest towards it. And commodity flows have already been calculated. And for a 60-ton carry as well, it should not be 60,000, it should be 60 tons. It should carry 60 tons. We have an ambitious task in our country. There is a design company that is engaged to conduct, so to speak, to fill in the task technically, I would say, and they don't see any other solution but airships. We have already talked to them. They say we are ready to be customers. This work should be done. Can you do it? And they say the timelines, and we have already started working out with them, working on different designs, methods of capture, of installation. By the way, you have said an interesting thought. Other companies globally, and even various children's writers. There was a children's writer who came to the office recently. That message that airships are something necessary, something important, profitable, interesting, people have it in their heads. And looks like now in Russia there is no one to meet that demand, which is actually present. It's much more serious. There is no one in the world to meet that demand. It's very good and cool that the Chinese are doing this, but they have started to close the tourist market for now. I'm sure that very quickly the tourist airships will turn into, in China, I guess, it will turn to something of construction or military purposes, God knows what else. And it's good that companies other than ours are entering the market. It shows that we are sane. We are going in the right direction. And on the other hand, what a lot of people say, and few people actually move on, And it's this kind of, on the one hand, the market is well heated. On the other hand, people are already disappointed and waiting, like when will it appear? That's why we won't make loud statements, but we're just moving on towards the creation of a demo version, and then, well, you said once, you said it today, that many companies are doing it, but they are moving on the way of paying off one vehicle, making money here and now, and that's it. But as for us, you didn't say it today, but you said it in the previous broadcast, and I liked it. We're actually making a Ford, a car. It's not just making one car, it's making a conveyor belt. So here the task is not just to make one airship, not 2 or 3, not even 10, but to have serial production so that you can deliver any number of airships for the best price, the best quality, and provide for the demand that we have here now. I guess it's a very interesting task and it's very ambitious. Yes, and it's all about the approach. As was rightly said, they try to pay off the whole process with one vehicle. That is one approach. And then, for example, you can capitalize the process and you can close your eyes a little bit on the profitability of the vehicles. Well, it's a completely different approach. And that's exactly the approach that lets companies grow. The unprofitable Uber, for example, which I'm already tired of giving as an example. It costs mad money. But we have a model of investing and we can afford to dump prices, for example. Obviously not at a loss. No one needs that. And we don't need to work at a loss with airships. They are a profitable thing. So we have a double advantage.